Hello, thanks for joining us. My name is Rick Mavis. I'm a certified master sales consultant right here at Schottenkirk Toyota, 54th and Broadway, Quincy, Illinois. Today, I want to talk to you about the Toyota Venza. It was brand new for 2009. The car is considered a crossover vehicle. So if you're looking for a wagon slash luxury slash utility vehicle, this is your car. You can tell by looking at the front of it, it's very distinct, very unique, very stylish. It's really caught on well. The people that own them love them. Let's take a look under the hood here real quick too. The vehicle is equipped with the same 3.5 liter V6, 280 horsepower, about 291 foot-pound of torque. The nice thing about this V6 is it's an all aluminum block. It's got, of course, two banks, two heads. It's 4 cams. It's a 4-cam engine. 24 valve, variable valve timing, which is very important because it's like getting 2 engines in one. Variable valve meaning that the camshafts can force the valves open farther and allow more air and fuel into the engine when you need more power. So it's like getting 2 engines in one. It's great, great technology, both for fuel economy and for performance. The rest of this under here, we've got clear fluid containers so you can observe and check fluid levels at a glance. You've got battery right up front. You've got fuses underneath here, easy to get to. Air filters, really easy to get in here and change that yourself. Over here, I want to talk real quickly about the ABS control module. You can see 4 different lines, one going out to each individual wheel. That comes into play very importantly when we talk about the STAR safety system, which I'll briefly touch on now. The STAR safety system is a 6-point star. First, you have your anti-lock brakes, obviously, which allows you to brake the vehicle in an emergency situation and still have control over the vehicle to steer it around obstacles that could get in the way and cause an accident. You've got brake assist. In a panic strike of the brake, you hit the brakes very hard, very quick. The system will actually help you apply maximum braking pressure. You've got brake force, electronic brake force distribution. I'm used to saying it one way, and when I don't say it the same way every time, I get confused. Electronic brake force, I still can't say it. You know what I mean. That allows each individual wheel to control exactly how much braking pressure it can exert, so that you're getting 100% maximum braking pressure out of every wheel every single time. The vehicle also has traction control, which obviously, if one wheel is spinning, the system brakes that wheel and transfers power to another wheel that has better grip. And you also have stability programming. That's point number 5. That allows you to corner in slippery situations, and the vehicle will help you maintain control of the vehicle around that corner so you can corner safely. The last point is the smart stop technology. So anytime the accelerator or the brake are applied at any one time together, the brake will override the throttle and stop the vehicle. So that's a very, very important aspect of the safety that Toyota offers its customers. Toyota calls these accident avoidance technologies, which is very, very important to the insurance companies because they want you to be safe, and it's very important to Toyota because we want you to come back and buy more and more and more Toyotas in the future. Let's move around the car here a little bit. You'll see up front, it's very, very neat how this all works together. You've got nice fog lights, a very clean, stylish finish. Down the side, you'll see amazing looking wheels. You've got optional 19 and 20-inch wheels. The standard on any Venza is 18. Let me touch real quickly, Will, before I get out of here. There's several different packages as far as the powertrain goes. You can get these in front-wheel drive, you can get them in all-wheel drive. You can get them in 4-cylinder, you can get them in 6-cylinder. Either way, any combination. So it's a great way to add value, fuel economy, performance, and or mobility. So it's a really cool way to handle all this. If you guys knew the kind of pressure I was under right now because people are acting up behind me, you appreciate how good I'm doing. First of all, you want to notice here too the rotors, very large. One thing about Toyota and their performance is that they want the car to move and propel forward at a very high standard, but they also know that if you're going to do a good job in performance, you also have to be able to stop the vehicle. So all the way around this car, you've got the rotors, the disc brakes with calipers that are built extra large, vented to do the good job it needs to do to actually stop the vehicle or perform in braking situations to make sure that you're safe. One thing that's pretty cool that I like about this thing is it's very sleek. It's very aerodynamic. You'll notice that the hood, or I'm sorry, the windshield, is very seamless all the way across the windshield, the roof, the moonroof. And this particular vehicle has a dual moonroof, which actually is kind of cool. But it's almost seamless all the way across. That promotes a lot less wind resistance and a lot less wind noise. Another cool thing about this vehicle, this one actually comes with smart key. So if I lock this car, all I've got to do is have this in my pocket, come up and touch the inside of the handle, and it unlocks. When I'm in the car, drive, get where I'm going, I come out, touch the button there, and it locks and I walk away. It's got a push button starting system, so I never actually ever have to take the key out of my pocket, or for you ladies to take the key out of your purse. It's pretty cool. Plus, it's pretty cool, is that with the key in there, the car will not lock. That long beeping sound means that you've got a door ajar, the key's in it, or something like that. So the key actually is very smart. One thing I also want to point out too, for those of you, men, women, who have trouble when you get out of the car, a lot of times you'll rub your leg up against this area here on the sill, and of course it's always dirty, and then it gets your pants dirty or whatever, your coat. This is actually protected. This is not exposed to the dirt, the ground. This will always be clean, because if you watch, this comes down over that area, which is kind of cool. It's very well designed, very sleek, very aerodynamic, and of course very clean, which is something I really like. Because you never want to be walking around with dirt all over the back of your pants and somebody's like, well, what did you do? And I don't know. Well, yeah, I got out of the car. My car was dirty. Take a look inside here, Will. This car is very impressive from the inside. I like to think that it's got a lot of Lexus DNA. The design is very ergonomic. Everything that you need to touch or visualize while you're driving the vehicle, it's all right there. It's really easy and fun to drive, and we'll get the chance to experience that here in a little bit, because this car is fairly well equipped. We'll have a lot to talk about on the test drive, although I'll touch on a lot of the big things, but there's some very important things safety-wise that we'll also touch on too, like the 7 different airbags inside of this vehicle. We haven't really talked about crumple zones in the front, which actually absorb energy as you get in a frontal impact to transfer that energy around the passenger compartment. Side impact door beams, which make the entire side of the car much stronger. So we'll transition back now to, I want to show you one other thing too. It's kind of cool. The fuel door, as we go back this way, the fuel door is unlocked from the inside, so your cap is always protected. But one thing I like to also show is that it's not very expensive, but I like the fact that there's a cap holder built into the lid here, which keeps the cap from dangling down here, getting gas and, making a mess. But that's just kind of one of the little things I like about what Toyota does. One click and we're done. Let's take a look at the back here real quick. You'll see this is a 5-passenger vehicle. For now, this is the only way they're making this vehicle, is a 5-passenger. You can also see that it's very roomy, very luxurious, very comfortable. Plenty of room for 5, very comfortable for 4. You'll also see too the sleek lines of the Venza. Privacy glass, the overhead spoiler with the high-mounted stoplight makes the vehicle very visible in traffic. From the back, you can also see it's very sleek. This is where I like the what I call the Venzas, the Lexus DNA. It's just very well rounded. It's very aerodynamic. You can see also too that it's got the dual exhaust with the chrome tips. Very nice. This particular model comes equipped with the power door. This comes in pretty handy when you have arms full of groceries or children. In the back here, you'll see it's a very low lift-over area, so you can get stuff in it very easily. And it's very spacious, very wide, wide opening to get the bigger items in there. When you have the need to store longer or larger cargo in here, you can actually pull these little handles, and that seat will fold down farther forward for you to actually load the cargo without having to walk around the sides of the car to lay down the seats, which is kind of cool. Up underneath here, we've got our spare tire. You can see that it is also a full-size temporary. It's not a little donut. It's meant to match the 18-inch or bigger tires on the vehicle. But it's a very clean, very neat back-end area. The top also has obstacle detection, so if it senses an obstacle in its way, whether it's opening or closing, it'll stop and reverse its path so that it doesn't damage the object that it runs into, or it doesn't damage the door. It also has a button on the back that you can push that will operate the door. Makes it very handy. So now you still don't have to actually grab your key fob to operate the door. It's kind of cool. This one has a backup camera. Right here, between the V and the E, back here you see is where the camera is operated, and is where you can obviously see directly behind you. Very handy to have when you have small children, bikes, pets, that type of stuff. You'll be able to see it. Comes also with a rear window defogger, washer, wiper system, which is pretty standard on a lot of vehicles. But it's always nice to make sure that you're going to be able to get good visibility with this vehicle, which you do for a crossover. A lot of the other stuff that we're going to talk about is on the interior. So I would like to right now take you on a test drive and give you an experience as best I can over the internet on the power, the comfort, the convenience of this particular ride. So come on in, let's go take a ride. All right? All right. Here we are in the cockpit, ready to go. First of all, remember we have the smart key. So I'm just going to drop that in here, as if I have it in my pocket, actually. I put my foot on the brake. There's actually 3 different levels. I can turn it on, which is an accessory mode. Then you can maybe listen to the radio or something like that. And I can hit the button again. That actually turns the vehicle on, but it's not running. So it's like having the key in the on position. Why you want to do that, I don't know. But I have to have my foot on the brake. And once that light turns green, I can start the car. So there you go. So it's very important to know that you must have your foot on the brake in order to start the car. And we're ready. So, like I say, we got a lot to talk about in here. Let's real quickly talk about this gated shifter since I just activated that. One thing I like about the gated shifter, a lot of people might think it's just a fad or it's just something different. I like it because it's easy to manipulate. If I had a sore finger or hand or arm or wrist or something, I would have to, the old styles, I would have to squeeze or pinch or grab something. With this, I just push it to the right and pull it down. And I also know that with 3 clicks, boom, 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 I'll show you. 1, 2, 3. I know I'm in drive. I don't have to look at anything. I don't have to check and make sure. I've got this spot here right across from the D to know that I'm in drive. Plus, I've got a redundant system up here. It might be hard for you to see well, but right over here there's a D, which shows that I'm in drive also. Now this also has a sequential shifter, which I move this to the left. Now I can actually control what gear I'm in, like a stick shift without a clutch. I can push it up to advance the gear, which is plus, or I can push it down to digress a gear, like going back down to first. And there's also, Will, if you can get a look up here, where that D was, it's now an S for sequential. But right below that, if I change the gears, you can see how that shifts the transmission up and down. Now you can't hurt this thing. This transmission is designed so that no matter how you may or may not goof it up doing this, it's going to still shift. You can't blow it up. So it's actually Rick-proof. I can't mess it up. So we're just going to put it back in D, which is where you're going to spend about 99.9% of your time driving this car.